annual income. That's what we need to do. And what we have defined, and we wish to notify it shortly, is an individual dwelling unit with a carpet area of not more than 60 square meters, and preferably within the price range of 5 times the annual income of the household, either as a single unit or part of a building complex with multiple dwelling units. So, if suppose we define EWS household as having an annual income of 1 lakh, for them a housing unit of 5 lakh should be treated as affordable. If it is more than that, then probably they will not be able to afford it. As you all may be aware, on 14th of November we have notified new income limits for EWS and LIG categories, and they are, as the Minister mentioned in the beginning in the morning session, that it is 1 lakh rupees for EWS and 2 lakh rupees per year for LIG. So for the LIG households in the urban areas, it will be 10 lakh rupees. So a housing unit which is 10 lakh rupees and within that should be affordable for that. That's what we are trying to say. We are also trying to link it up with the carpet area, and we are saying that it shouldn't be more than 60 square meters. So that's what I think in many of the interactions, the developers, since we regularly interact with you, the basic understanding of what is the affordable housing unit, there has been a lot of issues on that. So we have tried to do a definition together with you, and I hope that that finds I think that will clarify some doubts which. Okay. आ ही नहीं रहा है अच्छा ओके अब आ गया all right. Also we have tried to define what is an affordable housing project, because we need to define both of these. This is a group of developers. You need funding from financial institutions, and when you pose it, or if suppose there were certain policy concessions related with affordable housing, then we also need to define what is a project which can be called an affordable housing project, so that you can get finance at convenient concessional rates, or you could get some concessions also in taxes. So we have tried to define an affordable housing project where at least 60% of the FAR or FSI is used for dwelling units of carpet area of not more than 60 square meters, and the project reserves 15% of the total FAR or 35% of the total number of DUs for EWS category. So I hope, since it has been developed in consultation with you, I hope it is clear, as well as everybody is together on this, both government and the private sector. Now the problem that we are facing at the ministry's level is not that DUs are not getting built. We have, as I mentioned right in the beginning, we have realized, and we have actually got figures from census which I will come to prove it, that private sector in our country has the capacity to construct dwelling units in sufficient numbers. But those numbers are basically in the limits of higher income categories and middle income categories. Our problem is that all the shortages, as you can see, 18.78 million, to which the President also referred to and Minister also referred to, is in the LIG and EWS categories. So our concern is that if the dwelling units are getting built in sufficient numbers, but they are not going to the targeted beneficiaries, what do we do? Because more and more units will get built, more and more land will get locked, and more it will become difficult for the EWS and LIG households to get get housing units in future. This policy problem is a shared problem. It is also shared by you, as is evident from the topic that you have chosen for this convention. What I am trying to show here is that about 26 million dwelling units have been constructed between 2001 and 2011. I have certain figures from the previous censuses also, and between 1981 and 91, 11.3 million dwelling units got constructed in that decade. In the next decade, it was 11.65 million. And in the last decade, that is between 2001 and 2011, you people have added, together with government, 26.43 million. So it's a tremendous jump. It is almost double of what was added in the previous decades. That shows your strength, that shows your energy, that shows your capacity. But unfortunately, it hasn't gone to the sectors where the problem exists. So we have to jointly now see, as I have underlined here, the policy challenge is not to increase the housing stock, because if you increase it further, if I have one house, I will have two houses, three houses. That doesn't solve the problem of the country. Now, how do we do that is an issue which we must jointly address. Now, this is broadly the framework in which all of us operate. There is, as you can see, number one, there is an overarching sectoral policy which is defined under the National Urban Housing and Habitat Policy 2007 and the National Mission on Sustainable Habitats 2010. We have the regulatory reforms, we have the legal framework under which we operate, the overarching policies. Then we have the demand side interventions which the government does, also the supply side interventions which the government does, and there are certain macroeconomic policy instruments and the cross-sectoral policies which are governed by Ministry of Finance, and a mix of all these four gives us the environment in which we have to produce what is needed for the country. So briefly I will touch on what is being done and what we intend doing in future. The urban ceiling repeal has been done, land reservation and other